Hey guys, this is Healthy Life Designing. I'm Darian. Today we are at a pretty incredible, beautiful farm in Lancaster, Ohio, and we're talking with business owners Leslie Rector and Max Paz. Their business is Lulu and Max, where they have a ton of different natural and organic soaps, skincare, perfumes, bug spray, you name it. They've got it all, and it's all coming from their farm right here. When we come back, Leslie and her daughter Max will be joining us, and we're going to talk about all of these great things and why they moved here from Granville, Ohio when we come back.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area where the fountain is and the memorials and the flags and all the stuff. And we looked around and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Hey guys, we're back. This is Healthy Life Designing. I'm here with Leslie Rector and her daughter Max Paz at Leslie's amazing, gorgeous, lovely farm, one of my favorite little places. Thank you so much for having us out today.
You're welcome. So glad you came.
So how did this little story start?
Well, we lived in Granville where we raised our children, and I had married a city boy, and he had no desire for a farm, but I longed to live on a farm. So one day, out of the clear blue, after the kids were older, he said, let's look around. So we started looking around. We found this farm. I love it. It was built in 1825. It has so much history to it. And I began my gardens, raising goats, raising chickens, etc.
And you guys do soaps, you do skincare, you do creams. Mm-hmm. Was it cheese that it started off?
Yes.
All of this?
So I raised goats and I began making cheese, but you can only eat so much cheese. So then I experimented with soap. And then one day I was sitting in church and I clearly heard the Lord say, I'm on the streets. I thought that was so odd. And I kept hearing that. It was like an impression. So I thought, well, if he's on the streets, then I better get on the streets. And what he meant was he loves all people, and there's a lot of people that don't go to church, and those people that are on the street he loves, and he wanted me to go out and actually have a place to pray with him. So I began taking my soaps, taking eggs, whatever I could think of, to the local farmers market in Lancaster. And there it just went from there until one day I was like, Max, to my daughter, I said, I'm really getting tired. And she said, well, Mom, I'll help you. I'll start making the teas. And then we combined efforts. We began exploring how to make salves and how to make skincare. And little by little, we developed a business.
And so, Max, what is your part in all of this?
So I do all of the web stuff. I do the social media and all the legal. Pretty much everything there is except for with making soaps and making salves and stuff. And so Mom and I have a lot of fun together. We will sniff and sample different things, figure out what essential oils work well with others, and what benefits we can find out of plant extracts and everything else. And it's just been so amazing. I mean, I started out using really expensive skincare, and I was just so sick of always going and trying something new because it wasn't working. And I'd throw away $60 worth of stuff and be like, this is crazy. So then I thought, I can make it, which is kind of our life motto, because Mom taught us that growing up. For everything we ever wanted, Mom would be like, well, we can make it.
Right.
So then I started making my own anti-aging skincare, and I love it, and I've been using it since. We started in 2012 officially with Lulu and Max.
Wow.
So it's a long time, but
Yeah.
it's worked, and I've been very happy, and we never look back.
Well, and you've done perfumes as
Yeah.
well.
That's right, a disessential oil. In the beginning, I started with fragrance oils, but I really prefer to stay natural. So I switched over to disessential oils.
Wow, and just that whole process. Well, and the fact that when you work for yourself and you have a big family, you have 4 children,
Yeah.
and you had 4 children, but when you're able to, work from your own land, because all of this stuff, it's produced from the farm here. You've got your goat's milk, you've got gardens, you've got your herbs, so you have really
A lot of stuff here, but not everything we need.
Right.
So we do have to figure out what vendors are trustworthy and honest, and which
Okay.
ones are the best integrity of, like the essential oils. Make sure that they're completely natural and that they don't have, just all the stuff that's the fillers and the extras that we're trying to avoid.
right.
So we've been lucky. We finally have found the ones that we really like, and we stick with those.
And so Leslie, I know a few years ago I purchased like the bug repellent spray that's natural. I've had that for a few years now. I mean, that's just one of the unique things that you guys have. But another thing that we talked about just a little bit ago was soap that you can use that's just for poison ivy.
Yes.
Can you talk about
Okay.
that?
So I make a poison ivy soap out of jewelweed. It's here for sale. And I gather the herbs right off the farm. Actually, I make salves and other things where I just gather wild things. I am really excited about this. God, when He made the earth, He made herbs. It says right in Genesis that He made herbs for every purpose for man. And in America, we've kind of gotten away from that and depend on doctors, but I've discovered that there is actually an herb or a plant, and most of them grow wild, that can be used for every single ailment. It's absolutely amazing, and I love to tell people about that. I mean, it's a kind of a lost art,
Yeah.
but it ought to be brought back.
Yeah.
So
Well, and the fact that, we've been here through COVID the past few months, and you have all of this right here. You mentioned earlier before we started shooting that you haven't had to go to the grocery store.
yes. So when COVID hit in March, I did not need to go to the grocery store one time. I went through March, April, May. Now, my husband went just because he likes to get out and he loves to go to the grocery stores. But actually, we could have lived without any purchases, and we did have toilet paper. But I don't make that.
So how many acres do you own, and how many acres are you able to live off of?
So, well, we own about 15 acres. My gardens, I would say I've never quite figured it out, but my gardens are probably about an acre, 2 acres maybe, and then the goats and chickens on another acre or so. So we have some woods
three
in
or
the back.
four.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and you're able, do you still have your products in different stores?
Yes, we do. Local,
But online
Stores.
has been, since COVID, it's been great.
Awesome.
So,
yeah, it's really carried us through.
yeah.
And I wanted to mention some of the other products. I feel like I don't want to leave any of them out, but you guys have developed a natural deodorant. Can you talk about that? Because for me, I know personally, it's something that's really hard to find. That's not $20, and because you use it once, and if you don't like it, then you're going to pitch it and then you waste your money. But if it's natural.
Well, I make a deodorant with, in the beginning I made it with baking soda, but I found a small percentage of people were allergic to baking soda. So then I developed one with a zinc oxide and zinc, another form of zinc, and matcha green tea.
All was without aluminum, so
Yeah, it's just all natural. It's a little bit different. This is like $10, but it's a little thicker.
It's more like clinical strength. This
Okay.
one is than the other one that she had made in the past.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, we are going to take a quick break right now, but when we come back, we're going to get into other things such as the teas and the herbs and some of the great vegetables and plants that they sell here at the farm. So you're going to need to stick around because we have more when we come back.
Dagger Law has been part of the Lancaster community for more than 110 years. This is where we live and work. You'll see us at festivals, sporting events, and all around town. We consider our clients as friends, and we walk alongside you through challenging times. Whether you're a growing business, a changing family, facing litigation, planning your future, or dealing with land issues, we're right here. We are local. We are trusted. We are experienced. Dagger Law.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
It's a hometown bank. It's located here in Fairfield County. Branches are convenient. They're located here in Pickerington, where my office is. I'm in Lancaster a lot, and they have plenty of branches there. And I much prefer dealing with the hometown banks rather than the larger nationwide chain banks.
So far, everybody's been so personable, and for us to bank with the local bank, and we bank in Lancaster, it's been so wonderful because we'll call somebody, Steve will call somebody, and they'll get back to us right away, or they'll say, okay, we're going to make a decision in the basement tomorrow, and they'll get back to us, rather than calling a bigger bank where we had to wait and we didn't always get the same person the next time we called for a investment banking opportunity, or getting something appraised, any of those kind of things.
Everybody is very customer friendly. A lot of times I'll bring my dog Bear with me, and the staff love him here, and of course he loves them and the treats that he gets. So it's just a nice kind of a family type environment.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Amanda Wattenberg, Regional Director at Ohio Guidestone. Do you or does someone you know have a substance abuse disorder? Have you been thinking about getting help, but don't know where to start? It takes a lot of courage to ask for help, but it's the most important step you can take. If you think you know everything that's available in Fairfield County, think again. Like other chronic diseases, addiction can be managed successfully. Treatment enables people to counteract addiction's powerful, disruptive effects on the brain's behavior and regain control of their lives. Even if it takes multiple attempts, treatment does work and people do recover from addiction every day. So keep trying because your life matters. You matter, and we're here to help. Call 211 and ask for the treatment resources available right here in Fairfield County.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
Fairfield Medical Center took care of me like I was family.
I was made to feel like I was the only person that they were going to see that day, even though I knew that wasn't the case.
Everyone at Fairfield Medical Center was very attentive. They just put my mind at ease.
I was there for 12 days, and I felt comfortable there.
We were people to them, not a number. They took the time to get to know us, our personalities.
Well, they saved my life. How do you beat that?
I don't know how I could have gotten through it without them.
Experience Fairfield Medical Center.
Hey guys, we're back. Leslie Rector, Max Paz. This has been so great, learning all of these things, but there's a few things that we haven't talked about yet that I'd like to ask, and that's about the tea, because I've tried the teas. I've hosted retreats, and they were like a huge hit.
Good.
I mean, they didn't last but maybe an hour. But how did the tea part get started, and how many different kinds do you have? Can you just talk about the tea?
Sure. We have 10 that we're offering right now online, and we have 10 more that I just am getting ready to launch. So I have to get the labels
10
done.
more?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm really excited. All these new flavors, and it's going to be great. I love tea. I don't drink coffee, never have. So because I've always been really finicky about my tea, it's just worked really well. Like to make my own, get creative.
Yes, and you even created some that you can drink when you're pregnant.
Yes, the raspberry mint mojito is really great for that.
Love that kind.
Even after pregnancy, it's great. So I would say all the teas have medicinal value, every single one, because I don't want any of them to not. So they're very high in antioxidants, they're healthy, but what I like to do is bring in a bunch of herbs that are medicinal and then kind of mask some of that herby, earthy flavor that most people do not care for with black teas or with, just a fruit tea, some sort of flavor. So then it smells amazing, tastes amazing, and you're getting all that health.
Well, and what I like about your teas is, they're the loose leaf.
Mm-hmm.
They're in these cute little tins. They're all different colors. The marketing, the branding is I love it.
Thank you.
But they're really, really great whether it's warm or hot tea or if it's chilled.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if a lot of teas are like that, but personally, I've not found that to be a great thing in my own experience.
Yeah.
But yours, I really have always enjoyed them, whether they're hot or whether they're chilled. What are some of the new flavors? Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. I have this one that's just amazing. It's coconut and chocolate.
Oh,
so
my
good.
gosh.
It's a black tea, so it's definitely a good one to wake up to.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got a lot of caffeine, but it's also super high in antioxidants, and it has that yummy coconut in it, so it adds kind of a creamy balance.
Okay.
So that's one of my favorites. We have 2 Earl Greys. One is a green Earl Grey and one's a black, which is the traditional. And both of them are just so good with the bergamot coming through. It just smells and tastes amazing.
Yeah, they all, as soon as you open the containers that these are in, I mean, it just smells amazing. The vegetables. We were talking earlier about, I really wanted to mention these green beans because they're really neat looking, but can you talk about the green beans?
Okay. Well, this year, the first time I tried, first let me just plug Baker's Creek. They have heirloom plants, and I've been growing heirlooms for some time now, and the reason is you can save the seeds, so you can pass it on, plus the history behind each plant. The green beans that I tried this year, along with my standard green beans, are called Chinese long beans, and they're good. They're good cooked, but they're better sautéed. So they're about a yard long.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just harvested my first batch last night.
They look awesome. I mean, it's
cool.
just, it makes me want to just try something different.
Okay.
What are the vegetables that you sell here?
Well, in the spring I sell plants. I grow all my vegetables from seed, and I grow different kinds of tomatoes. I can a lot of things, so I grow specific vegetables for canning and freezing, and I dehydrate them also. About every vegetable there is, I grow it.
You've got potatoes, you've got lettuce, cabbage,
and I grow
cabbage.
like the potatoes I grow for our entire year, and garlic, for example. Then I just save what's called potato seed, but it's actually potatoes with the little green sprouts. I save those. I save aside some, and then I
how do you
plant those.
save those? Do they get dried or?
No, you keep them in a cool place all winter long.
Like a bucket in the cellar in the basement?
Yeah, well, a lot of buckets, because in other words, I don't have to buy potatoes.
Right.
I grow them from year to year.
Nice.
So she has also, you have
our
for
own
sale.
garlic all the time.
Yeah, and also all those herbs that you have
oh
for
yeah,
sale.
and then I have an herb garden. I probably started here with the herb garden. So I counted one time, I have about 80 herbs.
Wow.
Not just domestic herbs that everyone uses, but wild plants that are considered herbs.
And they're all for sale. So if somebody comes to the market and says, hey, I was really interested, do you have this herb? She can say, yeah, I do, and go pick it and sell it to you on the spot.
And you also have some fruits.
Yeah. So we grow, we inherited an apple orchard. But it's all heirloom apples, so I actually just use most of them for the goats and chickens. But I also grow red raspberries, black raspberries, and black berries, strawberries. I think that's about it.
Elderberry?
And elderberries. Oh, my favorite.
And blueberries.
And blueberries.
We have pears and plums. I don't know, do you still have peaches too?
No.
Peaches
I mean,
and
yes, I do. But the problem is we've had a lot of freezing weather early on in spring, and that pretty much wiped out Ohio farmers.
But you're able to also make your own jam.
Yes,
out of
I
all
make
of your
jellies and jams. But speaking of elderberries, I make an elderberry syrup that I don't actually sell, but I will teach people how to do it. So it builds up your immune system. So if you're catching a cold and you take a teaspoon 3 times a day or tablespoon,
helps build up the immunity.
And also the cold or flu will end more quickly, several days earlier.
Yeah, shortens the duration.
So I know we have a little bit of time left. Would you care to talk about anything else that we haven't really discussed yet? Because there are a ton of things that are at the farm.
Okay. My goal is to, in this little pink building back here, my goal is to have classes. I would like to help people learn how to be self-sufficient. And it's not difficult. Anyone can do it. Become self-sufficient. I'd also like to teach children how to cook a meal, I'd like to teach a lot of things. Bread, how to make your own bread, how to make noodles, how to make syrups and salves and etc.
People get so far away from just the simplicity of things, and especially kids too. Now I've noticed since everybody's been spending more time at home, my kids have naturally ventured more into the kitchen, making eggs and different things where I don't have to force it upon them so much. But I think it's just because they've been at home, the atmosphere's relaxed, we're not rushing from one thing to the next.
Right. Isn't that interesting? And that's happened to you, hasn't it,
Yes,
Max?
it has.
Because the kids have, I noticed, been cooking.
Yep, a lot more. Now, I used to make them cook a meal with me at least once a week so they knew. I wanted to teach them, so they could. I've always had this mindset that if I wasn't here tomorrow, what do I want to depart to my kids? And so every day I try to go over stuff with them, or at least with one kid, and then the next day the other. Because with 4 kids, it's kind of hard. But that way, they always know, okay, I can make spaghetti. I can make something if I need it,
Well, and your kids have always been pretty involved with Lulu and Max.
Yeah, yeah.
And Maddie, your oldest, I know, for the farmers market, you guys have been all over Columbus with that. She's been a pretty big help with those things.
She's been with us all the way, yeah. She's great with using tech, so she can just work the card reader without a...
They're all little entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And then I have 10 grandchildren, and the ones that live in New Jersey, same thing, they're little entrepreneurs.
Now, and you also do open houses here at the farm. Is that something you're still doing this year?
Provided we're able to do it due to the situation.
We have to know what the
but we
laws
will
are.
have one between Thanksgiving and Christmas, sometime around there.
Right.
Yeah. And launching the classes will be the next thing that we do. So.
Right. Well, I love all of the products, but one of my favorite things is seeing all of the different blends of soaps. Because a few years ago, I had actually came out to your farm and was learning myself in how the soaps are made. Can you talk just a little bit about that? Because that really is what holds a lot of this together, is all of the different blends and the different types and the different things that they're used for.
Okay. Actually, being that our children are gone, making soap has been kind of like cooking for me, because once there's just two of you, there's not a lot of reason to make a big meal. But making soaps is actually similar to that. I use lye, and it takes all kinds of oils. You can use just about any oil. In the olden days, they used lard and they used tallow, which comes from beef. But today I use olive oil mostly, almond oil, and some other good.
The coconut oil.
And coconut.
Yep. That's
yeah,
my new
coconut
favorite
oil
one.
and palm oil.
It's really unique,
it's
all
a
of the different
process.
things that
Yeah.
because you can have lavender, you can have vanilla scent. One of the ones that you have over at your stand is one of the newer ones that has cinnamon with it.
Yes.
Oh, cinnamon and clove.
Yes.
So I made the cinnamon and clove. It's really good during this time of the COVID-19. The spices are all antiviral, antibacterial, and excellent for flu season, really. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but I did hear that hand soap is more thorough than pump soap.
Liquid soap.
Liquid soap. In getting rid of germs. So I love to experiment. It's very creative. It's just
right.
It's a good outlet.
This year I made dandelion soap. I took dandelion blossoms and I infused them in olive oil and made.
And dandelion, I mean, that right there, you can use that as a detox tea.
Yes.
I mean,
right.
you can eat dandelion.
The whole plant is good for you. Yeah.
If people are interested in learning more about just the generalization of your business or the things that you offer, where would they go to find that?
Online.
Okay.
I would say, yeah.
Is
so
it just luluandmax?
luluandmax.com. They can go to our website and find links to all of our social media as well. On Pinterest, we have all the updates of what's going to be at the market.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, not just Pinterest. It's Instagram, Facebook. I think they're all linked. But, definitely our Facebook and Instagram page will always have the hours and what's available.
And then we have products at a restaurant called The Well. It's a lovely restaurant. It's in Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Lancaster Greenhouse carries our products. And Carnes,
Cornersmith.
Cornersmith in Canal Winchester
Right.
carries our products.
Well, I really hope that people are really going to be inspired by the fact that you left a life in Granville to move here to start your own sustainable living. You're proof that it can happen. You've raised your kids. You've been successful at not only that, because Max is amazing, but I learn so much from you every single time I come here, and that's the truth. Whether it's something about soap or something I can put on a wound for like a salve that you have, you always have some little remedy that I can apply to my life, or I learned something about gardening, which I have not been very successful at. But when I come here, your gardens look amazing. You've got the herbs. It's so peaceful. This is one of my most favorite places in the world to come to. I never want to leave when I'm here. But thank you so very much for inviting us to come and just kind of pick your brain about how it started and all the things that you offer.
Well, thank you. It's been delightful. Good experience.
Great. That is all that we have time for today, but thank you guys so very much. Remember, if you have a backyard, you can do any of these things. You just got to get out there and start something. So until next time, we will see you soon.